Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy NornRad89 here with a special live video today as I invited my buddy Jason, the Old Millennial, on. As today we are going to be discussing some NBA teams. It is almost the start of the season. October is one of my favorite time of the years, and this is a key reason why. And Jason's one of my huge sports buddies. He's into college football, basketball, NFL, and at NBA, and that's where we are going to be talking about today, giving our power rankings for who we think are the top 10, both of our personal opinion, and then also at the end, our way too early predictions for Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and the season MVP. So, Jason, how are you feeling today? Are you excited?
Yes, very happy to talk some basketball. I do like football, but basketball's my favorite sport. So
Yeah.
uh, mostly college, but NBA, yeah, it's.
Yes, cool. And you're a Jayhawks boy, huh? Because you're a Kansas fan, huh?
I'm wearing my Kansas Jayhawks stuff, but yeah, I,
Nice.
I team in the NBA. There's no NBA team from Kansas, so
Yeah, so maybe hopefully maybe throughout this year of doing this content, maybe you'll kind of latch on to a player or latch on to a team and kind of
right,
jump on the wagon for one of these teams. That'd be cool.
yeah. I mean, OKC is the closest place to me, so
Yeah, it's statewide. Yeah, that is the closest one too. Yeah, yeah. Who was our previous champs? The Thunder, who are definitely probably going to be on both of our lists, so we will discuss them when we get to them. But how about we start off? Like I said, we'll go with you since you are the special guest today. Give me who you think is going to be the number 10 best team, and feel free to talk about the team you might have left off too, like the one you were thinking about, number 11, and you were like, "Oh, I'm just going to knock them off and put these guys at 10."
yeah, number 10 is definitely a hard spot. There's a couple teams I was considering here, and I looked at like last year what happened, and I kind of wrote everything down and kind of and I looked at the rosters to kind of figure out like what changes were made, and stuff like that. And I ended up going with number 10. I ended up going with San Antonio Spurs in this spot,
Okay.
and it was interesting because San Antonio didn't do that well last year, but I know Wembanyama was like hurt, and I'm like all on the Wembanyama train,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's a star at least. And I watched him in the Olympics when France got second to the United States, and
Yep.
Wembanyama amazing in the Olympics, and he's so young. I mean, he's only third year in the NBA, maybe.
Yep, it's
Uh,
his third year in the NBA, and yeah, like you said, he's just every year it seems like he's growing more and more.
and I just never seen a guy like that. I mean, that size, that like ability to move around, shooting, athleticism. Like he's just a special player. I feel like. So maybe I'm too. I don't know if I'm banking too much on that guy, but I guess to me, if I was, it's anytime you ask the question like, what player do you want to build your team around? Like Wembanyama is like one of my guys. I go, if I was to build a team, like that would be my centerpiece. Like because he's young, and so he's got a lot
Yeah,
of years in him, and you put the right guys around him. I think you could have something special there. Um, yeah, talk about like I hated I didn't I almost put Milwaukee Bucks here, and I
okay.
think I took them out because I feel like they're not as good as they used to be. Kumpo, I can't say his name. Uh,
Giannis, yeah, Giannis.
Kumpo is definitely one of the best players in the NBA, but I feel like he's probably getting frustrated because they haven't been playing as well lately. And Damian Lillard left that team, went back to the Portland Trail Blazers. I saw. Uh, so I don't know. So I left them off. That was hard to leave them off because they won a championship not that long ago. Um, I really like I'm interested in the Dallas Mavericks because they lost Luka Doncic, but then they got a really good rookie, which I'll talk about probably at some
Yeah,
point. They got a really good rookie in, and they got some good pieces there. I don't know. They're young, but I like what they have. I also really like the Orlando Magic. I just really like Bankero and Wagner. I think are really good players.
yeah,
And I don't know. And they're another team which has a lot of good pieces together. They haven't. I don't know. They're fun to watch, I think, and I'd love to see them do well because I just really like Bankero. He's such a fun player to watch. Um, but yeah, when I looked at the San Antonio Spurs roster, I just kind of I had to go with them because I really like the roster. It looks Um, because I saw they got Fox on there, De'Aaron
Yeah.
Fox, and that guy is really good.
Yeah, and
Um,
this is going to be, I think, yeah, their first full year together. Like I said, training camp and everything. Him and Wimby a whole year together, so they're definitely going to have more chemistry.
yeah, so I'm like, you got two All-Star caliber guys right there. I think Castle was the Rookie of the Year maybe last year. I want to say. So he's a really good young player. I saw Lennox is on the team. Lennox is a solid big man.
Oh yeah,
Looks,
a good plug-in piece. You know, one of those guys who's kind of a little. He's good. He's not great at anything, but he's good at a little bit of everything.
yeah, he can shoot it a little bit. He can play. Yeah. It looks like Harrison Barnes is on the team. I know he's getting older, but he was a decent player back in the day.
Yeah,
And then they got some young guys like Harper. I think is a really good. I remember he was a really good player coming into college. So I'm banking on him. He's young, but I'm banking on him being really good because I thought he was really good in college. And Flagler too, I thought was really good in college. I think he might be a rookie this year. So I guess I'm looking at it banking on like some of those young guys playing well, but I guess it depends. It's because it's always I always look at college guys and I'm thinking, man, this guy's so good. And then they get NBA and they do nothing, and I'm like, NBA is such a different monster, I guess. What do you want to say?
yeah.
That
It's like this. The speed is just astronomically different once you get to the NBA.
yeah, it's something about it that not all great players from college uh, make it in the NBA, and some do, and some people you never heard of become superstars. So you know, you never. But yeah, that's why I settled on San Antonio.
Nice, good pick. I love that pick, man. For real, I'm on the Wimby train too. I think Wimby is definitely one of those players for the future. Like I said, he's going to be like the next, kind of Jokic or LeBron James. He's going to be the face of the league like 3 4 years from now. And like he's not even in his prime. He's only in his third year. He's still really young, so he's got that chance to grow and really develop his game and stuff. So fabulous pick at number 10. You did mention the team that I have at number 10. I am very high on the Orlando Magic. I think them as a young cast and a young crew, and for what they did last year, ending 47-35. And the East is one of those conferences that's not as stacked as the West Conference. So I feel like it's just going to be a lot easier for them to come out on top and come through to the Eastern Conference Finals. And like you said, Bankero and Wagner, like I think they're fantastic. And the addition of Desmond Bain to their crew, who is a true like bucket getter, like he's a 3-point shooter, but he can also score mid-range shots as well, which is I think something they were kind of missing last year. So I think Desmond's definitely going to help them for sure. And like I said, I think main reason I have them at 10 is just because I trust the fact that the East is going to be pretty weak this year again. I think it's going to be the top three teams, whichever the top three teams are in the East, are most likely going to be the ones coming out of the Eastern Conference. Whereas the West, you could kind of make an argument for the top 5 or top 6 teams being legit contenders for the title. So, yeah, Orlando Magic is going to be my number 10. The team that I did leave off was the Golden State Warriors. And I think that's just kind of out of respect, so much respect for Steph Curry and that team, you know what I mean, and what they put together. But I do feel like they're on the tail end, like downside of their, dynasty thing, like they're at the end. So if they did squeeze it out, I wouldn't be surprised in them making, the playoffs and going a deep run. But I just think the Orlando Magic with their young crew and what they're building, I would pick them and bet my money on them over the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, they don't have Klay Thompson anymore. They just don't have the players they used to have. Curry's
Yeah.
getting old. I mean, Curry, I'm sure is still good, but he's just getting a little bit older. Draymond Green's getting older. It's like
Oh
how much
yeah.
longer? Yeah,
So that's why it's like, yeah, they're kind of like the old head Warriors now. They have Jimmy Butler, who's not how
yeah,
he used to be when he was in the bubble and everything, which was kind of like a 1 year and done fantastic year for Jimmy. So we'll
yeah.
see what he turns out like.
Exactly. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know.
No. So would you like to go into your number 9 now, Jason?
Number 9, I went with the Minnesota Timberwolves,
Okay.
uh, and was like 2 years ago they made it to like the Western Conference Finals, I think,
Yeah.
and I was surprised when they made it. I didn't know they were that good, and I was like, wow, Minnesota, like, and I thought they played pretty good last year. And so based on like what they've done the last 2 years, I feel like they've been pretty solid team. Um, now I gotta find my. I mean, obviously Edwards. I keep thinking he's going to be like a first team All NBA guy. He hasn't quite made it there, but he's so impressive of a player. Um, what do they call him? Ant.
Yep, the ant.
Ant. Uh, but man, I say the best dunks I've seen probably come from him. He has some of my favorite dunks I ever see. That
Oh yeah,
guy,
he's got some good highlights over the last few years for sure.
man, dunking over somebody. I'm like, holy cow! Like I didn't really, you like, you're watching me thinking, oh, he's too far away. Nope. I'm like, holy cow. Uh, he's just phenomenal as far as that good. I mean, he shoots the ball well too. I don't know. He just seems like, I mean, he's an all-star caliber guy. He's one of those guys that are definitely in the top. I don't know if he's top 5 yet. Maybe he could. I always think he's going to break out maybe into a top 5 guy. I don't know what's holding that back necessarily. Just that there's so many other great players. I guess it's just hard to, fit everybody in.
That's true. Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. But he's fun to watch. And I thought he played overseas in he did play in the Olympics, but I don't think, did he? Maybe he did. No, I can't
I
remember.
believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he was on the Olympic team. I think so. Yeah.
I thought he looked pretty good on the Olympic team, I think, if I remember right. And he played like in the FIBA game like before that, and he was one of the star guys on the team. I don't know if that means much, but I love watching like the FIBA, and I love watching the Olympics. And I guess I always think if they have a good run, I think that's momentum maybe.
Yeah.
I always think that will help them with their momentum in the next year. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just like
Speculator, I'll putting it out there. No.
speculation on that. Let's see. I'm trying to find the team now. I wrote it down. Of course, Randall, I think, is really good. Julian Randall, very impressive, kind of big guy, can shoot it anywhere. It seems like, and can score. Those two are kind of the stars on the team, of course.
Yeah.
Conley, I think, might be getting older, but he's always been a solid guard. And
Yeah.
I really Reed is another this big guy that he gets hot from threes, and all of a sudden he looks like a 3-point shooter either. I always funny when I look at him and he starts threes, and even his jump shot doesn't look that great to me, but he just starts nailing threes. I'm like, holy cow! Like,
Yeah, he gets dangerous. He's one of those dudes. Yeah, if you let him cook, he'll get you.
yeah. So that's kind of fun to watch when he gets hot and all that. And yeah, so of course, yeah. So I put him in number 9. I don't know. I don't know if they should be higher or not, but I feel like they definitely should be in my top 10 just because of how good they played the last 2 years.
Yeah. They're definitely top 10. They will be on my list. I won't spoil where they are, but they are going to be higher up on my list. But I definitely think for sure, easy top 10, because like you're saying, Ant is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I feel like he has that next level in him where I think he's going to be in, MVP talks. So I can see that happening over the next couple years. And then because they kind of kept the team the same, there's not really a lot of change. But like you said, over the last 2 years, they've been one of the teams that's gone the deepest in the Western Conference. So that's, that's something to say. So they definitely got talent around them. And then they still have their, defensive anchor in Gobert, who might be an offensive, trash. But he's definitely a defensive anchor for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard a lot of negative things said about Gobert, but it's like the guy's multiple defensive player of the year guy. So he still can be. Yeah.
Yeah, he gives me kind of like almost like Dennis Rodman vibes. How some people used to talk about Dennis Rodman, not like saying Gobert's like a bad boy. It's just the kind of stigma that he carries around with him and stuff is almost like a Dennis Rodman type thing.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So great pick, fabulous pick. All right. We do have some comments and stuff, but I'm gonna try to. We'll kind of squeeze those in maybe as the time goes on. We got Horsetooth Cinema. Horsetooth Cinema is in the house. Thank you for stopping by.
He's an NBA guy.
Yeah, he likes the Spurs to make a deep run. It's hard for me to freaking do these things. I can't stand these things. New comments. We got another new one.
He's a Denver
Rockets
Nuggets.
would be. What's up?
He's a Denver Nuggets fan as well. So.
Oh yeah, Denver Nuggets. Yeah, that's what because he was back in the day living in Denver. Now he's across the seas, I believe. There's his top 10 right there. He's dropping them right there in the comments for us. Thank you so much.
Okay,
All
well,
righty.
Clippers in there.
Yeah, the Clippers. That's one that I was kind of oof. We'll talk about them in a second. I won't spoil, but we'll talk about them in a second. For me, my number 9 is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'm kind of putting them here at number 9 just because LeBron James is kind of on the tail end of his career. He is getting older. I'm not the hugest fan of DeAndre Ayton, and that's like their big main piece that
Yeah,
they added besides Luka Doncic, who I understand DeAndre Ayton will probably be good for Luka in terms of pick and roll offense and stuff like that, but just as an overall player, morale, and person, I'm not that big on DeAndre Ayton, so that's why it doesn't really hype me up or anything. And Luka Doncic, I think, is a great player, but he's also one of those players that sometimes could kind of get in his own way. He like shoots himself in the foot a little bit with how he plays and how aggressive he is, but then also his conditioning, which I've heard he's doing better. I heard in EuroLeague, like when you were seeing the footage over there, he's in the game and he's more fit than he has been coming into the other seasons. So I'm thinking we are going to get a better version of Luka. I just don't know how much he's going to be able to lift the Lakers because looking at their roster, I was like, outside of LeBron James and Luka and Ayton, I don't think they really have a great roster. Like, I don't trust their team, but it would be kind of stupid of me not to put them up here because of like I said, the last 2 years, I think the Lakers were in the play in both years, and they always seem to hang around that like 9 or 8 spot. They're always hovering around that last spot now, just keeping in the playoffs. So I have the Lakers at my number 9 spot.
yeah, I'll definitely talk about him here, but
Cool.
I agree. And a couple guys I really like in that team, though, I'll talk about. But
Alrighty.
uh, all right, number 8.
Number 8.
And here I got the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
And it's weird putting them there because they won a championship just 2 years ago, maybe. And so really high on them for the East, but then they didn't even make it to the conference championship this last year. So I'm like, wow, like that was like a bit of surprise because I expected them, I thought they'd get back to the NBA finals, but
Yeah.
I feel like they were disappointing in the playoffs. I was a little disappointed with their play. And they're kind of a team they got. I mean, I don't know if they have the biggest superstars. They have superstars. They have a lot of good role players, I think, maybe is what really makes the team, I think, interesting. But they lost Porzingis. I saw that Porzingis left. And I thought
Yeah,
that was
he's
it.
in Atlanta now. Yeah, he's at Atlanta now, I think.
Atlanta. Um, and I thought that was a big part of their championship team. I thought Porzingis is an interesting player because of his length and ability to shoot it and all that. He's got some athleticism. I don't know if Al Horford's still there. He's old though. I don't know if he makes quite the impact he used to. He used to be really good, solid, still big man when they won their championship, whatever. Um, but I was like, I had to put him on the on. It's like I felt like I put him on the list because they just won a championship. So it's like, how do I keep? They just won. I mean, Jason Tatum's obviously like he's been kind of the star. He's been like a first team All NBA guy.
Yeah.
Um, I like him. He looks great. Like his pullback 3-pointer is just amazing. The way he does that. I never understood how NBA guys do that. To be honest, like basketball, and I never could do that.
Yeah.
Step back, like no.
Boom. And this is going to be our first year kind of seeing Jaylen Brown as the captain now because I don't know if Tatum's coming in or coming back later in the year, but because he's coming off of that injury, I know we're going to get just Jaylen Brown as like the main star, I think, for the first of the year.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, Tatum's good, but except he's been kind of disappointing. I think in the playoffs
Yeah.
and really disappointing in the Olympics. He didn't do anything. I couldn't believe it in the last Olympics when they won. I thought he'd be a star guy on the team, and he did nothing. He couldn't shoot it. It was weird. I'm like, what happened to this guy? Like, and that happens sometimes. I've seen guys go in the Olympics and do nothing, and I don't know what it is. Maybe because they're just used to having the ball in their hands too much, and they don't know how to work in a team where you have to, share the ball more. I don't know, but anyways, but like I said, Jaylen Brown's really good to me. I guess Tatum and Brown really good players. I really like White. He's kind of more of this great role player guy. He can shoot the three ball, plays great defense, and they've had like I remember when I watched like the defensive player of the year or the first team, second team, whatever. It's
Yep.
like they always have Boston guys on those defensive player of the year on the teams. They usually have a couple. Like they get guys that play good defense, and I think that's really
Yeah.
helpful. Um, and I like Pritchard. Pritchard comes off the bench, I think, and hits clutch shots. And so I feel like they have the really good role players that fit in well. And I don't know. I'm a little down on them though. I used to be higher on them, but I'm a little more down on them here. But I don't know if I'm putting them too. But I put them. It's Boston. They won 2 years ago, whatever. So they're on here.
Oh yeah, I think it's too. It's because of respect thing. Because like you said, with the scheme, they seem to always keep a similar scheme, and like the players that they bring in, I do feel like roster wise, this might be one of the weaker Celtics teams we've had over the last few years. But like you said, the East it's kind of wide open. Like the East, I'm not saying completely, but it is almost kind of wide open with certain things at the end. Because when it comes to, like you said, maybe the 4 through 10 spot, it's just free form. Like anybody could kind of fall in those spots because of how open it is. But yeah, I think Tatum being hurt, it's going to be interesting to see Jaylen Brown kind of captain the ship, who did win the MVP when they won their title and stuff. So he is an MVP caliber player. It's just, can he sustain that play throughout a year? We're going to kind of see that.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
if I'm bad year, I'll look bad. But
Yeah. All righty. So my number 8 spot, I have coming in the Los Angeles Clippers, which is kind of a weird pick because we recently had the news of a scandal. I won't go too detailed into it, but Kawhi Leonard was involved with the manager, I believe, or the general manager of the Clippers, with some cap circumvention that they were trying to do with some stuff on the side. So I'm not sure if Kawhi is going to be there because he might be suspended. But then again, when I look at the Clippers, they're kind of one of those teams that's built to win or sustain time without Kawhi because he is a player that is hurt a lot. He
yeah,
sometimes can give you 50 to 60 games, but most times or not, you're going to get less than that from him because he's hurt and you want him ready for the playoffs. I believe even last year or the year before that, the Clippers refused to play him in back-to-back games because they wanted to rest him. So, I mean, stuff like that, it makes you worry and everything. But like I said, they're kind of tailor-made to win without him. So I feel like they're still going to be in the talks of one of the top teams in the West because of Harden and because of all the role players they have, and Zubac, who's a great defensive player and stuff like that. So I still have that respect for them. I just can't really put them any higher because I feel like all the teams above the Clippers that I have higher just have clear cut more advantages or a higher ceiling kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like these guys, the Clippers have a high floor, but their ceiling is kind of capped out because of what they can do. So I have the Clippers sitting here at my number 8 spot.
yeah. I didn't put them on a list because they just look too old. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like I was looking at it, I was like, these guys are so old. Like I don't know. Maybe I like younger guys, I guess, when I look at my team. And like these
Yes,
guys
people to build around.
in their prime, they were great, but now they're all getting up there. Uh,
Yeah, I would
but
say the Clippers, I think, out of all the teams we're going to talk about today, probably have like the oldest roster, I think.
I mean, it's crazy. The talent is crazy good. It's just they're old. But so I may be putting too much on that, but that's the way I felt when I looked at the list. But you and what's his name has it
Horse
on?
said, yeah, we had them both on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I might be wrong on that. So we'll see. James Harden, I don't know. I feel like he's got talent, but he's I don't know, unreliable. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Unreliable. I could see that. Like I have this thing with James when I look at him, he just doesn't look like or portray a winner. You know how winners kind of carry themselves, and when you see a winner on a basketball court, they just have this aura about them. I don't really get that aura when I see James Harden on the court.
Well, there's been a lot of, again, like talks that he doesn't come in shape at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's like, is he trying hard? I don't know. You just wonder like where his head. Yeah, like you said, compared to like Kobe Bryant or something, that he's focused at the beginning and
Oh yeah, like that was one of those players. Like yeah, I always just when my team went up against them, and my team's the Nuggets. I'm a huge Nuggets fan, so anytime I would see them go up against Kobe's Lakers, it was like, I was always fearful of that day because it was like, man, we got to go against the Mamba now. Like it's real time. Like y'all bring your game faces because that's just how he was. That's what Kobe
oh,
represented.
exactly. It's funny. Even Shaq was a little too lackadaisical for Kobe. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, they had a famous, they three-peated back to back to back,
yeah,
but yeah, they famously didn't have the greatest relationship at all.
Shaquille O'Neal was like the most dominant center I've ever seen. Yet it was like he wasn't serious enough. I guess it's great. Like I don't know. Like I wouldn't complain, but Kobe Bryant I think complained a little bit. And, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's all right. Number 7, I have the LA Lakers here at number 7.
Nice.
Luka Doncic, he's my favorite player to watch, to be honest. I love Luka Doncic. Uh, he is so fun to watch. I watched that game where he hit 70. That was incredible.
Hmm.
That's insane. Like to me, hitting 50 is like incredible, but it seems to happen more nowadays. Seems like I'm always seeing people hit 50. It used to be anytime I see 50, I'm like, wow, this is like a once in a lifetime thing. But now I feel like I'm
Yeah.
seeing people 60 and up more. Even Joel Embiid hit 70, I think, a couple years ago, and I think even Donovan Mitchell hit like 70. So to me that's just an insane number, hitting 70. And anyways, I'm sorry I'm talking too much about that, but
No,
I
it's a
just
scoring league now. That's definitely,
yeah.
like you said, how modern NBA is over the last 10 years. It's definitely been more of a scoring oriented type league.
Yeah, I don't know, Doncic, the way he man pulls back those threes, I'm just like, how does he do that? And he looks so he looks so slow, but yet he gets in the lane and he scores on people. I'm like, I don't know how he does it, but he just looks like he isn't in control, anyways. But anyways, I love Doncic. I don't know how him and LeBron work together. That's my only issue.
Yeah.
Is it feels like you have two alphas on the same team, and I'm like, how do they work together? Because you think LeBron James, it's his team. I mean, because he's like one of the greatest of all time, so he's obviously going to be calling shots. I would think, even though he's my age. It's funny. I'm like a year older than LeBron James, like the old guy in the league, because he's like 41. I'm guessing because I'm 42, so he's probably about 41, which is crazy old for the NBA, and he's still playing at a high level. Uh, so I don't know how much longer he has because he's still playing good. I'm sure he's getting injured more. That's the big thing when you get older.
Yeah.
Uh, so I imagine he's getting injured more. That's when he'll maybe retire if he gets injured too much. But it's like he's still playing and he still can play. But it's like uh, LeBron is going to be one who wants the ball in his hands, I'm guessing. But then Luka needs the ball in his hands too because he's so good. Um, and right now, I think Luka's a better player than LeBron. He's a first All NBA guy the last several years.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would say if I had to pick a player like talent, like LeBron is still a top 25 player, but I think Luka is
Yeah,
clearly in the top 10. Yeah.
yeah. LeBron is like still like All NBA. I don't know, second or third team. He's still good. But Luka's been All NBA first team for the last several years. So, anyways, so I'm interested in how they work together because they haven't worked together a full season. Because Luka came in, I don't know, halfway through the season or more. So I haven't
Yeah, it
seen
was. Yeah, it was over halfway. Yeah, you're right.
so I haven't seen a full season with Luka over there. But I'm so high in Luka, I guess I'm like I had to put him in here. But yeah, you mentioned Aiton, I don't know much. It's funny. Aiton, I thought was really good when he was with the Phoenix Suns, and they made it to the conference or they made it to the NBA Finals. And I watched that, and I thought Aiton looked pretty good. He's 7 foot center, pretty big guy, and and then he left, and then no one talks about him. So maybe I suppose I'm putting too much on him, but I think he's a solid player, or he could be. I
Yeah.
guess maybe he's not a superstar, but I mean he's a solid big man. I would think that you can fit into the system maybe. I really like Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves has always been fun. He Austin Reeves went to Wichita State University for 2 years, which is
Okay.
that's where I graduated from Wichita State University. And he was really good, but then he left and went to Oklahoma, and he was really good in Oklahoma. And I never thought of him as an NBA guy because he looked like just a skinny white kid. So I was like, wait, NBA. But he's actually doing really well. He's like a starter for the Lakers, and he's just a very talented guy, shooting, dribbling, all that stuff. I don't know. So I like Reeves a lot.
Nice.
He's been playing pretty well, I thought, for them. Um, I really like Hachimura. I think Hachimura is a really good player. Real good, like wing, small forward, very athletic, can score.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's enough pieces there that I really like the team. When I look at the roster. Oh, they also have a Smart. What's his name?
Marcus
Marcus Smart.
Smart. Yeah.
I really liked Smart when he was playing for the Celtics. That was before they won their championship, but he was one of the best. I mean, he was Defensive Player of the Year one year.
Yeah, that was
Um,
kind of crazy. I remember when he won that. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
I mean, he's a really good. He's mostly known for his defense. He's not. He's never been a great shooter or anything, and maybe that's his problem because this is more of a shooting league. Everybody can shoot threes. I mean, even the 7 foot centers shoot threes nowadays.
Yeah.
But Smart came when he came in the league. I don't think it was so much 3 point shooting, and he was a little more valuable of a player. But so I don't know how good he is now, but I just thought that was interesting. I saw Marcus Smart, like okay, he was a solid player. I don't know if he still is, but I don't know. So I don't know. There's enough players, enough role players there, and you got superstars on the team. I don't know. I like what I'm seeing. I'm just curious how it's going to work with LeBron and Doncic playing
Yeah.
together. I just don't know how that's going to work. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting year. Yeah, like I said, because we're going to get a lot of opportunities to see pairings of players play together, but then also some teams that kind of just kept their same core come
Yeah.
back and everything. But a lot of teams did make some big moves that we're going to be talking about too. So it's going to be an exciting year for sure. I'm definitely happy, and especially because we're going to be covering it. You know, I was like, this is something I want to do. So I was like, I want to do more sports stuff, and I was like, Jason, you're the perfect man to come on. You know.
Oh, thank you.
So let's rock into my number seven, right? We just did number seven, right?
I
So,
just
yeah. All righty. My number seven is going to be the San Antonio Spurs. So I'm a little bit higher on them than you. You had them at the number 10 spot, I believe. And for me, it's mainly, like you said, the Wimby train. Like he's just slowly, every year has just grown and grown. He's already one of the best defensive players we have in the game right now. And just to see him adding that jump shot and what he's able to do. And like I said, coming into his third year, really knowing his game, knowing his body better, and hopefully he'll be able to stay healthy throughout this full year because, yeah, he did get hurt last year. But having a year with Fox, having that full training camp and everything, I just think the Spurs are one of those teams like they're never really away, like for real. Like with Popovich and them, they were on the top for decades, just putting in 50-win seasons over and over and over. And they, from moving on from Tim Duncan or David Robinson to Tim Duncan and now to Victor Wembanyama, it's like they always find a way to just find that next core piece that's going to be the star of the Spurs team. So I just really trust this team. Victor as an anchor for the defense, but also the format of the team and just, the way that they bring themselves to the game. So, yeah, the Spurs I have at this number 7 spot. It's going to be exciting, but it's a tough competition over here in the West Conference. So that's the one thing that I think they're going to have a hard time with because even though they're a very solid team, like when they come up against the T-Wolves or the Nuggets, or the Rockets, like even the Warriors do give them fits too sometimes. So, but I believe that Victor, like I said, in the next 5 years, we're going to be talking about him as the greatest player in the league. So a lot of respect for him.
I agree. I feel like he's a future MVP. If he's still plays like he does, it's just incredible what he can do. Like I see him like if it feels like he's too far away from the basket and he'll jump up and dunk it. I'm like, what the heck? How did he? He has. I've never seen someone with that much length when they reach up to dunk it. It's just insane.
Oh yeah, he's got a massive wingspan. Like I said, he gives me kind of almost like modern day Kareem Abdul-Jabbar vibes, like just the way he plays, the way he looks compared to the other people. Because yeah, when Kareem came out in the '70s, like he just had that aura, that look, that lengthy vibe to him, and then he's bringing in the hook shot, and you can't touch him because he's so long. So I feel like Victor brings off that same kind of vibe.
Yeah, because you see big guys like that, and they can get pushed around because they're skinny, or they usually can't. They can't dribble and shoot like this guy can dribble and shoot it at
Oh
that
yeah.
height. Insane to dribble and shoot it like he does. It's unfair. It's like a cheat code, like
Yeah, he has the Nintendo 64 like Game Shark, and he's like using all the codes and everything.
so if Spurs can't win a championship with this guy, it's like they're doing something wrong. That's what I felt.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they should be able to squeeze at least one ring out of Wimby. So
I would think so, but I don't know. All right, number 6, I got the New York Knicks here.
nice.
Yeah, I have a friend named Nick, and he's a big New York Knicks fan, and so he's been telling me a lot about them, of course, and I've been kind of rooting for them because Nick's my friend, and so I've been like trying to hoping they can make it, and they've been really improving the last 2 years. Like 2 years ago, I think they made it to like the semifinals or something like that, but last year they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals against Indiana, so they played really well in the playoffs and even beat Boston. And they're another team that has like they have 2 superstars that I just really like, and I've always been high on Jalen Brunson. For a long time I thought he was one of my favorite point guards. Back when he played for Dallas, I thought he was so good, and I can't believe they got rid of him. And of course Dallas has gotten rid of a lot of great players. I don't know what they're doing over there. Sometimes
They're in turmoil with their guards over there. It's crazy.
and I was like, how do you get rid of Jalen Brunson? To me, I thought, and that was that was before he came to New York Knicks. And he's been just a superstar with the New York Knicks. I love watching him play. He's so fun, and he won like Clutch Player of the Year last year, and he really has been one driving them into the playoffs and getting to that Eastern Conference Championship.
Oh
He's
yeah.
been relied on, and yeah, so he's been great. And then of course you have Towns. Towns is one of the best, I think, big man. His 3-point shooting is really good for a big man, and his overall scoring ability. Uh, he was great when he was with Minnesota, and now he's with New York, of course, like last year, I think. It's funny, him and Randall, both great players, changed teams, and they're both really great for both teams. So I don't know who got the better of that. I mean, Towns might be a little bit better than Randall, but they both are great players, I think.
Yeah.
And both teams have been. I don't know if either team is. Both teams have been really great. I mean, with either player, but yeah. So with those two those two stars, I really like those two guys. And then to me, they have such a great kind of role players, kind of surrounding them. Hart, I think, is Josh Hart has been a really solid guy.
Yep.
Uh, Anunoby, I think, is actually a really talented guy. Wing player that can, again, one of those athletic guys that can also shoot it and do well. Brogdon's really good. Clarkson, I wrote down. So I don't know. I really like the role players surrounding the two stars of the team. And like I said, they just feel like they've been getting better the last 2 years. They've been improving, and partly I would love to see him get to the NBA Finals. For my friends, so.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first one that we actually share our little ranking on right now. 6, I have New York Knicks. Yep, same as you. Very similar feelings on him. Like Brunson, we were talking highly of him. He did finish, I believe, in top 10 MVP voting last year. So he's getting a lot of praise and a lot of votes. And like you said, people are finally recognizing like he is a clutch star in this game. And having Cat there, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns, he might be a little bit of a defensive weakness, but like you said, he does provide that 3-point shooting. OG, I love OG. I trust Anunoby, so that's what's really cool. I trust that guy. And for me, the New York Knicks is another thing. I love them. Is my mom's from New York. That's originally where my family's from before they moved down to New Mexico. So her being a New York Knicks fan, I carry that kind of side love for them. Like if I pick a second team besides the Nuggets, it's going to be the Knicks. Like that's like the second, side team I root for. So kind of similar to you. I want to see them get that shine again because it's been what, since the 70s, since they had their championship. So it's almost like the Golden State Warriors. Like it's been that when before they won again, it was decades and decades, you know.
Yeah, and they had a couple really good teams in the '90s, uh,
Yep.
but since then, yeah, it's been really down for them. Those
Yeah, they
Carmelo
had.
days didn't pan out like they.
Yeah, that I was hoping because I was such a Carmelo Anthony fan, and I was so sad when he left Denver. But then again, him being a New York boy, he's from Syracuse. That's the college he went to. It was always kind of his dream to play for New York in Madison Square Garden. So I love Carmelo enough that I'm glad he got that chance. But yeah, there was a lot of wasted years there with Anthony and Stoudemire. I thought they were going to be something, and then Stoudemire got hurt. So yeah, the New York Knicks, I feel like it's kind of their time now, but it's, like you said, it's hard when they come against the Western Conference, but hopefully this year they might be able to break through because they kept pretty much most of their same players. And like I said, Brunson being such a star and he's reliable, then they're a very strong team.
Yeah, I hope for Nick's sake. Yeah, I hope they're still good because I'm like all year he's going to tell me about it.
Nice. So now we're here finally at our top five, starting out with yours.
Number 5, I put the Cleveland Cavaliers here. They really good last year. They finished like first, which I didn't realize. So I was looking at it. They finished first, and I feel like the last 2 years they've been in the top of the Eastern Conference, but they always choke in the playoffs. Like, they haven't made it to the conference championships,
Yeah.
let alone get into the NBA Finals. So they're one of those teams I always think, oh man, this is a team that's going to make it. And then for some reason they just can't do it in the playoffs. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Do I trust them? I don't know. But I mean, as far as the season goes, I'm sure they're going to have a really good season. Donovan Mitchell, yeah, he's like I can't remember if he made the first team. He might have made first NBA All Team this last year. He was really good this
Yeah.
last year. So he's getting into that almost MVP kind of category for me as a player. And I thought he was great when he played for the Utah Jazz. And then they got rid of a really good player. Utah's not been that good lately, but man, Cleveland really used him well. And yeah, so he's been great. Garland's great point guard. He made the All-Star team once a little while ago. He hasn't made it lately, but still he's a solid point guard.
Mhm.
Garland there. I really love their big men though. Like they have the best, like one of the best big man tandems, whatever. With Mobley, Evan Mobley is a really good big man.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was the player of the year last year. And yeah, great. And then they also have Allen. I forget his first name now. Jared Allen, I think it is.
Yeah, Jared. Yep.
And he's a really good player. I mean, you got two big guys that are athletic and can score in the paint. So I love those two guys down low with Mitchell and Garland in the guard spots. Uh, yeah, I don't know what's going to take for them to get to the NBA Finals, but it's like they're right there. It feels like they have the pieces for a really good team. So yeah, so I had to put Cleveland pretty high on the list for that.
Nice. Oh yeah, they definitely deserve the love. They are going to be on my list a little bit higher, but we'll get there, like I said. But yeah, definitely, I feel like you brought up a lot of great points. Plus, that's kind of crazy that there was a time the Nuggets, it could have been D Mitch over Jamal Murray. It's crazy.
Really?
I mean, we did win a championship with Murray and Jokic, but there was
Yeah,
that possibility when they were drafted that we could have had D Mitch. It would have been a crazy pickup.
that's interesting. I don't know what Mitchell was a high. I can't remember him in college at the moment, but
Yeah,
uh,
college, I don't remember. I remember, the Jazz Nuggets trade thing. And like I said, they did where is it like where you pick the picks and then they swap the trades or whatever and everything like that. And it was, we drafted D Mitch, but then sent him to Utah kind of thing.
because he kind of came out of nowhere for me. I didn't know him until he just started at Utah. He was coming like their best player, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Like that's my memory of it. Like I was not expecting Donovan Mitchell to be a superstar, and he is.
Oh, yeah, that was back in the days. Yeah, they had D Mitch. That Gobert was on that team. I think Paul Millsap was on that team too. So yeah, they were hot. They even went into the Nuggets and us. They went a game 7. They won a 7-game series in the playoffs. So that was exciting.
No, they were very good. Gosh, I'm they had a really good shooter on that team. I can't remember his name now. Uh, yeah, big, fairly tall white kid from like a. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Boston.
I have to try to break into my 2K bag. Maybe I'll remember his name.
Well, I think he went to Boston, and then I don't know what happened to him. He maybe doesn't play
Oh,
anymore.
Gordon Hayward. I think that was
Yeah,
Gordon. Yeah. Yep.
yes, I liked him a lot too, and he
Oh
kind
yeah.
of.
So great pick for number 5. Solid pick. At my number 5 spot, I have the Houston Rockets, who probably had one of the biggest offseason pickups with scoring Kevin Durant for their team. For
Yeah,
me, yeah, that's definitely one of a big one. I remember seeing the joke on like I think it was Facebook or something. Kevin Durant completed his Christmas tree jersey color thing because he has like all the jerseys and all the colors and all the teams he's played for now.
it's been
But
crazy. He went from Golden State to the Brooklyn Nets.
yeah, he did Brooklyn. We started off with the Sonics, so this is back in the day when he first came into the league. It
Yeah,
was the Seattle Supersonics, and then the very next year they transitioned to the Thunder, and then he went to, like I said, yeah, Golden State to get his ring, which was kind of controversial. Ended up going to Brooklyn for the failed experiment over there of the trio that they were trying to build.
yeah, that was a disaster. I mean, they should have won. It's insane that didn't win with that talent.
Oh yeah,
Um, then they went to the Phoenix Suns, and then now with Houston, was he with
yep.
Phoenix? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like every year he's with a different team.
Yeah, that's the one thing why I couldn't, for me, I couldn't put them higher for 2 reasons. One, we did hear that Fred VanVleet, I guess, injured his ACL. He tore
Oh,
his ACL. Yeah, so I think that just happened like a couple weeks ago or something. It was like during training camp. So Fred's going to be gone for this year.
oh
So the
no.
one, yeah, so that kind of sucks, which I think they're going to end up probably making like a mid-season trade or trying to pick up a free agent or something. But in terms of my second reason why I can't really, for me, put them higher is because I just don't really trust Kevin Durant as like a leader or a galvanizer of a team. I know he's a great player. He is easily one of the best shooters that we've ever seen in this game, for sure. But in terms of someone who lifts a team up or can galvanize the troops when your team is down or you're losing players or someone's hurt, I just don't feel like Kevin Durant is that guy. But they do have some good young players. Like I said, they have Amen Thompson, Alfred Şengün. So they have
Uh,
good young talent. It's just, yeah, with the loss of Fred, and then for me not trusting Kevin Durant that much as a leader, I couldn't really put them any higher than this number 5 spot for me.
well, they're number 4 for me. I'll just say,
Okay.
but higher than you. Uh, yeah, I love this roster when I looked at it. I love Fred VanVleet because he went to Wichita State University, my
Yeah.
school, and they went to the Final Four with him, and yeah, so he's like one of the great players that come from WSU. Was the MVP of the league his junior season. Anyways, so
Nice.
I'm so happy for Fred VanVleet. His NBA career has been just amazing because he was like maybe a second round pick. I don't think he was a big pick because he's not that big. He's kind of more on small size, I think. But the guy can shoot the heck out of the ball, and he's been a great point guard. He was with the Toronto Raptors when they won their championship
Yep.
uh, back in the day, and he's made the All Star team I think one time. So he's like been an All Star caliber guy, which again just been so happy for him. I love watching him play, man. When he gets hot from threes, holy cow! Uh, Watching the playoffs last year, he would just get hot from threes. One of the best 3-point shooting guards that I've seen. Oh man, if he's out, that's one of the big reasons why I put him up here because I'm really big on Van Fleet. Sangoon, whatever. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Never heard of this guy until last year. He made the All Star team. I'm like, who's this guy? Like, I never heard this name before. And so I started watching him, and man, I really like watching him play. He's been fun to watch, especially in the playoffs. And he's been killing it in the FIBA basketball this last summer. Been playing really great. So I'm like, this guy's just gonna get better. I think as a big man, he's one of the top big man right now. And so I imagine him just getting better. Yeah, and then putting Kevin Durant on there, I was like, he's getting older. I think he's like in his late 30s probably. But it's Kevin freaking Durant. So I was like, he's just one of the greatest players I've ever seen play. So maybe I'm just a little bit high on him just because I watched him back when he played for Texas,
Yeah.
his freshman season. And man, he was the best player I've ever seen play against KU. He dropped 2 times he played KU. He dropped like 24 points in the first half. It was like, who is this guy? He never misses. I've never seen him miss, and this guy like never missed a shot. And I was like, this guy should be the first pick in the draft. And it ended up going to this other guy who ended up being a bust. And I was like, if there was one guy I would want, it was Durant. Because like who's this tall that can shoot the ball this well? It's insane. And so he's getting older, and he gets more injury prone. That's the only question mark I have for him. But man, if he can shoot the ball, he's gonna help the team. He's just like he can shoot the ball from anywhere, that guy. And so I think he still played well last year. I feel like he's still a third NBA team or something like that. So he's still capable of still being a good player. I don't know. So I guess to me it was like saying Van Fleet, Durant, and Sengun, whatever. Like those are my 3 guys. I was like I put really high on the Houston Rockets. I mean, Steven Adams has been a solid big man.
He's definitely trustworthy. You're right.
Trustworthy, yeah. I also put Smith Jr. on here, and I can't remember who that is, but I wrote his name down, so I must like him.
Jabari Smith. I think that's Jabari Smith Jr. Yeah.
Yes, that must be it. And I like him as a player, so I don't know. There's enough guys there that just the top guys. And they played great last year. They finished, I think, second in the West.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't play. I mean, again, so many good teams. I guess so they didn't make it into the conference championships or anything, but it felt like they were in there, like they could have made it.
Yeah, I think that was more just a young mindset thing. Like I said, they did so well in that season, but then, like I said, just going into the postseason, it is a different animal. And when you are a very young team with no, like you said, mature minds to guide them through the postseason, you kind of fall into those problems where you make too many mistakes and stuff like that. But yeah, with having Kevin Durant there, and like I said, even though Fred is gone, I think was it Bradley Beal, I think, is on the team too. So it's like, I think they'll find ways to kind of make it up. You know what I mean? Even though Fred's gone. So, but me, I feel like my top 4 teams that we're going to discuss, I think are, for me, the clear cut ones. Like if I was a betting man, these are the 4 teams that I would bet on that they're going to be raising up the championship at the end of the year kind of thing.
I wonder if we'll have the same teams in the top 3. We haven't mentioned them yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, we might. Like just said, we'll see. This one for sure. Number 4. I know you were. I can't remember. I think you had them at number 8. I want to say. I'm gonna put, for me, number 4 is Minnesota. I have the Minnesota Timberwolves here. Yeah. So for me, I just am like, Ant is one of those guys that he just keeps evolving. Man, he keeps adding to his game, and he's kind of my sneaky dark horse pick for season MVP. I don't think he's going to be the season MVP, but if I was to pick like a dark horse in the race, it would probably be Anthony Edwards, because I think he's just one of those guys that just embodies an NBA player who loves to grow and learn. It's a great thing.
Right there, I think. He's just right there.
Yeah.
So MVP level.
Oh, definitely. Because like I said, I've heard for this offseason that he was working a lot on his mid-range, and that's something that's kind of missing in the NBA now. A lot of people, it's all that drive and kick stuff or just 3-point shots on the corners. And a lot of people don't dissect the mid-range like, Carmelo Anthony used to do, Tracy McGrady. And I feel like Anthony Edwards is kind of adding that to his game, which is just going to make him even more dangerous.
Best guy I've seen is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the mid-range.
Yeah, Shai was he was dominating last year, and like I said, even getting to the free throw line, you could see, because he was attacking the paint and he was using the mid-range, his free throws were off the charts.
Yeah.
And then for me, another reason I trust Minnesota is kind of like they kept the same team. And when you look at them the last 2 years, they were in the Western Conference Finals both times. And not last year, the year before that, they were the team that knocked my Denver Nuggets out, the year after our championship season. So they kind of tailor-made their team to beat us. So that's another reason that kind of scares me a little bit too, is because they have those perfect roster to kind of challenge the Denver Nuggets. So I feel like if it is like Denver versus Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals, it's definitely probably going to be a 7-game series type thing if it comes down to those two teams. So Minnesota here at my number 4 spot.
All right. Okay. I'm curious who's number 3 for you, but number 3, I got Pacers.
Okay.
Indiana Pacers made it to the NBA Finals last year, and last 2 years, man, they've been so fun to watch. The games with New York have been really great. They've had like 7-game series, I think, with New York. At least, I mean, maybe last year or the year before. I don't know, I think both years they knocked off New York, if I remember right. And in that game where New York was, oh my gosh, New York should have won the game. And now I have to look at the name. You probably know who I'm talking about.
Oh, is
Halliburton.
it Halliburton? Yep, Tyrese.
Crazy. Hit this crazy three that bounced way up high in the air and came down to, I think, tie the game to put it over. I don't know. It was like, I don't know. And he did the Reggie Miller choke sign.
Yep.
Oh my God. That was incredible. Like, I could not believe New York screwed that game up. They should have won. And Indiana came back. And after that, it was over. It was like, you can't mess up like that. and make a comeback after that, after choking that game. But yeah, Pacers have been so fun to watch. Again, Halliburton's been I don't know if he's been a first team NBA guy, at least a second NBA guy. He's been in that, top 10 kind of caliber guy in the last 2 years. He's got kind of a strange shot, but it's like a crazy, like, what do you call
It's
it?
like a pop. It's a pop. Like it's like almost he shoots the ball to put it at a spot where it just drops down. Kind of like how you said with the 3-point shot. Like it's like it hits a point and then just all the inertia carries it down.
Arc. Yeah, he puts like this crazy, like, I'm like, way high, but yeah, it switches right in. You're like, okay, he knows what he's doing because he's making. But yeah, he's been a great player. Like I said, really been the star on that team and helped them. Now let Siakam. Siakam has been so good. He's another guy that's like he might be a top 15 guy as well the last couple of years.
Yeah, always love supporting him. He's a New Mexico boy, New Mexico State boy.
Oh, cool, New Mexico
Yeah.
State. I remember he played for somebody. Who did he play for?
He was with the Raptors before this. He was with the Raptors on their whole crew with them. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was an all-star guy. I remember then he's still kind of an all-star caliber power forward, I guess, or whatever you want to call him. And yeah, he's been great. Like, I thought he played great in the playoffs. So really impressed with those two guys. Halliburton, Siakam, been great. And then again, I love their role player guys. Like Toppin. Toppin is a really good player, I think. Super athletic wing, can do all kinds of stuff. He's fun to watch. And Nimhard, I think, is going to be a good player. McConnell is a really good point guard. He's been playing really good for him last year. He's kind of a small white point guard guy, but man, he I don't know, he's fun to watch. Yeah, so I feel like they got the really great supporting guys with those two stars and they did so well last year. Like I said, made the NBA Finals. Like, I feel like they're so close. Again, the West is so good though; it's hard to, because you have Denver and OKC and Minnesota's even. I don't know. There's so many great teams over there. But man, Indiana's like, I feel like they're this close to winning a championship, which would be interesting because they never won one.
And that's like the home of basketball. A lot of people talk about that's kind of like Indiana's like the state where it's like basketball really originated from, kind of,
Yeah, and I remember those Reggie Miller days, man. They were really good. And I really like Reggie Miller, one of my favorite players to watch. So clutch, such a clutch player. And they made it to the NBA Finals that one year, I think, against the Chicago Bulls. But, of course, they weren't going to win because going up against Michael Jordan, But that was a good team. Anyway, so to me, it's like I would love to see them win just to go so they have a win. And they're, it's fun to see.
Saw it like in our lifetime,
Yeah, like seeing like I think Milwaukee's won before. I forgot with back in the 70s. I think they had.
Yeah, they won with Kareem, and then they Giannis took them. Yeah, so they won twice. Yeah,
Denver never won before, I believe, until they won.
Yeah, that was exciting. That was a lot of
So
fun.
that was cool to see Denver get there. So, I don't know. I loved OKC first time they won a championship, so that was cool to see them win. So I do love seeing some of these teams get their first championship. So I don't know. So I love to see Indiana get there again, but
Oh yeah, definitely a great pick. Yeah, Indiana's one of those kind of picks where it's like over the last few years, like I feel like maybe NBA fans, like you said, that don't have a team, this is like the team they love watching because, like you said, Halliburton's so fun to watch. We have the Siakam and everything, and just the energy they bring, and even like McConnell coming off the bench, like I said, he's this feisty young point
yeah,
guard and stuff. So like he kind of gives off a little bit of Steve Nash vibes, a tiny bit. But great pick. So for me, like into the top three, my
yeah,
number three is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have Cleveland up here at number three, who I think are the best team in the East. When I'm looking at the East, I think they're clear cut the best. But like you said, it's just that kind of playoff hump, that one thing that's always kind of been in the way, you know what I mean, with something that's happening. So it's for me, it's New York and Cleveland, who I think are going to be the top two in the East. And I think for me, Donovan Mitchell, he's just such a good player. Like I said, putting up all these all-star caliber numbers where I think he's going to be probably hitting around 27 to 28 points a game again this year for the season and stuff. And having that clutch, like you said, big man rotation, that's something that you kind of need in the modern NBA now. Yes, there are a lot of three-point shooters, but like you said, you need those big defensive guys that can switch on to guards and guard the perimeter. And I feel like that's what Cleveland has. They're kind of tailor-made for this style of NBA now. So yeah, I think they're just easily the best team in the East. It's just who, like I said, they might shoot themselves in the foot again when it comes to the playoff time. So that's the only thing, is like I couldn't put them at number two and then number one, like out of respect for another team. But yeah, I was like, all right, so I think Cleveland's going to be my number three team. That's where they ended up landing.
okay. My number. So both have them in our top five.
Yeah, so our top five was a little bit switched. I think it's because, like you said, you had Minnesota a little bit lower. I had them a lot higher, so they broke into my top five. So they scooted some other teams down.
Yeah, like Indiana. I guess you don't have in there.
Yeah, Indiana I did not have in there. Yeah, Indiana and Boston I didn't have in my top 10.
Oh, interesting. All right, so our top two has to be the same though.
Yeah, I
Um,
think our top two. I think our top two are the same, and depending on who you say at number two, I think they're in the same
yeah.
spot. So we'll see.
Number two, I have the Denver Nuggets. Um, yeah, I mean, they won the championship. I guess 3 years ago now. Is that
2023. Yeah, 2023 was our championship year.
yeah 22-23 year or something like that. Yeah, when they and I really like Denver. Uh, Jokic is definitely one of the greatest players I've seen play. Probably my second favorite behind Doncic. I know, and maybe I don't know if this is me, but I just love really. I mean, usually you look at like the really athletic guys that dunk over people. I love the big slow white guys that just are so skilled. I don't know why. It's so fun to watch. I look at Jokic and I think this guy doesn't look athletic at all. He looks slow, but he just dominates. It's like, but he's probably the best passing big man I've ever seen.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, what makes him like top tier player is just his ability to pass and get triple doubles because of his assist, ratio. The other big man probably can't do nearly as well. Of course, he has such a weird shot, but it goes in when he shoots these weird threes. He does that
Oh
little
yeah.
step. Dribble. He does like a dribble step, and it's like it looks so terrible, but it goes in. So it's like I can't argue against it. He makes them. He can make the three ball, and he's so deadly down low. I think because he's such an interesting player because he looks so wide compared to a lot of big guys, and he if you I mean you just can't guard him if you're like one on one. He'll just push you down, and then
Yep.
just I mean because just the way he's built, it just built so different than I think most NBA guys I've seen. That man, yeah, he'll back anybody down like, and then just go left or right, and he's just so skilled with his shots. It's just a great shooting touch in the lane that he is so good when he gets the ball down there, and I love those kind of guys. I don't know. I've always been big on like Tim Duncan, and I even like really like Pau Gasol. I thought was really great.
All was
Um,
great. Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki is another great, big man that just knew how to shoot that ball, man.
that guys that can just such a great shooting touch. I really can go left or right. Can do? I mean, it's just so hard to guard those kind of guys. Um, I do love Shaq though because he just dunked over the top of people. Was kind of fun, and he
Yeah.
could. He's another guy who just backed anybody down, just dunked it on them. But that was fun to watch. But I do love the guys that are just so skilled that they can. It's like they can, you know, fade away maybe, or they can hook shot it, or they can go left or right and get by you. I don't know. Just those guys are just so fun to watch in the paint. I think
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
so versatile. We love that. Versatility is something we love here in the NBA, definitely.
Anyways, I'm talking about Jokic, but of course he won 3 MVPs. So I mean, the guy's just on another level. That's the reason why they've been so successful, of course. But I love a lot of their guys because I don't know. I'm really high on Murray. I feel like I'm higher on him. I feel like I hear a lot of people aren't big on Murray, Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's because, like I said, he gives off that persona as like almost he doesn't care. But for
yeah,
me, being such a hardcore Nuggets fan and just watching every game he's really ever put together, I think he's just very emotional. That could kind of get in your way though sometimes when you're a player, like if you get over emotional. But I've seen Murray, and when he gets into those playoff modes where he just goes for it and gets sick numbers, it's because he's very heated and emotional, you know what I mean? And he's using that passion for the game. But sometimes that could that weighs down on you when you just carry that emotion all the time.
yeah. I don't know. Something about him, people I don't know, have been liking it. I don't know, but he gets hot from three. He can shoot the heck out of the
Yeah.
ball. I think he's a great shooter, and I think maybe he's had some like maybe he's what's the word? Maybe he hasn't shown up maybe for some games, and that's why people don't
Yeah.
like him. They feel like he doesn't show up for the big games. Maybe I don't know. It seems like there's some kind of criticism about him, but like when I watch him play, I always think he looks great. I saw him play back when before he got into college. They had the Nike game where it was like the international players versus the USA players,
Hmm.
and Murray was the best player on the court. And that's the first time I ever saw him play, and I was like, I never heard of him, of course, because he's from Canada. Like, who is this guy? This high schooler from Canada? Like, he was the best player on the court, and he ended up going to Duke for like one season, of course, and then went to Denver. But so I don't know. I've been high on him ever since I saw him play in that Nike game, whatever. Or I think it was Nike.
Nice.
I think it was the Nike World Game or something like that when he was in high school. It's like this is to me. It's like I would have picked him first in the draft. Like I thought he looked so good. I don't know. So I'm maybe higher on him, but I still think he's a really. And again, you said he won a championship with them, so I mean he's been a good starting piece for him. I absolutely love Christian Brown because he played for the KU Jayhawks,
Oh yeah.
and he has been so good. He's been way better than I expected. I thought he wasn't even like our best player. Really, he was like our second best player on KU. Ochi Agbaji was our Big 12 Player of the Year and first, and he was a All American.
Hmm.
Brown was good because he was like, again, he's like the 6'7", 6'8", like white guy that can shoot the three, but is way more athletic than you expect. Because you look at him, you're thinking, and then he dunks it over Gobert, and you're like, holy, I didn't know he could do that. And
Yeah, I
so,
think next year a crazy stat. Last year he was number 3 in drives to the hoop or paint and like scoring. He was like number 3, I think.
well, he was like a valuable bench player on that championship team. And then
Well,
last year he became a starter. So he's been improving. And I'm so happy for him because he's also from the state of Kansas. He actually, you know, he's a true Kansan. So I
yeah.
love true Kansan guy, do so well. I really root for him, of course. So I don't know. I hope he keeps improving because, like I said, he has a good jump shot and he's just really athletic, more athletic than you even think until he dunks it on you. So yeah, I love that. I really like Aaron Gordon. He's another super athletic guy. And again, I'm sorry I'm talking about
Oh no, you're good.
because I remember him when he was with like Arizona and he was so good for them
Yeah,
back in.
he's Mr. Nugget now. That's his nickname. I think out of all the players on our team, he embodies the persona of the Nuggets the most. You know what I mean? That's why he's so loved.
He looks way different than he did back in college. It's just
Yeah.
I think this same guy. He has a different hairstyle and everything. But anyways, but he had one of the clutch plays last year. He hit like a 3-pointer to win a game in the playoffs. I remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember what game that was, but it was like it was great. Like the way because you don't think of him as being this clutch 3-point shooter, but that was one game where he. Unfortunately, they didn't win the series. I don't think, but
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Like I said, that was a big part of Aaron Gordon's game that he picked up last year, which he's always been a great dunker. He's always been good at defense and everything, and even just passing the ball and doing all these things. But in terms of, like I said, an actual 3-point shooter, that was never really part of his game. And the fact that Aaron Gordon kind of added that, he's definitely one of those players that I think that's the main reason Jokic loves playing with us is like it's just Aaron Gordon is like such a trustworthy piece, and Jokic being this player that just kind of involves every player around him because he loves passing and stuff, but he's able to actually escalate and raise their game, you know what I mean, and make them look better and make them better players. And I think Aaron Gordon understands that. And he's like, what I'm going to do is be here for Jokic and just, be a Swiss Army knife, basically, just whatever he needs that day. I'm going to be a defender. I'm going to be a rebounder. I'm going to be another scorer. And that's kind of how Aaron Gordon is for the team. And in
yeah,
terms of my thoughts, is why we both have the same, like I said, top two. Number two for me is the Nuggets as well. And I think this year, this is probably the best roster that Jokic has ever had around him. So I'm very excited to see what they do this year in terms of the season.
because I wrote down Hardaway. I like Hardaway. I think he's a good player.
Yep.
And I wrote down, I think I can't read my.
We have Cam Johnson. That's our other newest player who we traded Michael Porter Jr. to Brooklyn and got Cam. So
Is it Valanciunas? Is that who I'm?
yeah, he's going to be our backup to Jokic. So Valanciunas is probably going to be the first ever solidified big man. I mean, Mason Plumlee was great, but Jonas is more of like a Jokic type of player.
Yeah, I like Valanciunas. So I don't know. They have enough, role players, as I call them. And you got Jokic, and I don't know. It's. I seriously thought they'd have when they won their championship. I thought, oh, they're going to win like 2 or 3 in a row, but they haven't been able to they haven't gotten back to the finals for some reason. It's just. I know you know more about that than I do, but
yeah, I think it's just because, like I said, in terms of the years, like how we look at the NBA, it's not like how we were when we were kids or even before we were born, in our dad's era and everything, where teams were repeating or three-peating, or the Celtics back in the 60s and 70s going for like 11 championships. Like it's just not that era anymore. Whereas now, I think it's the last 8 years in a row we've had a different champion every year because that's how stacked the league is. That's how fast defenses learn and stuff like that. Because in 2023, Jokic and Murray, their pick and roll game was unstoppable. Like that run that we had in the playoffs, we only lost 2 games that entire run in the playoffs, which was outstanding. And then come to find out the next year, defense is caught up like that. They got faster. They learned how to switch, you know what I mean? And they just instantly were able to pick up and like understand what they needed to do. So I think nowadays it's just, like I said, the talent that we have around the league in general, but also defensive coaches are doing really good at dissecting the game.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors was like the last like kind of dynasty team. It feels like.
Yeah.
And then it's been a different team every year. It's been insane. Because I grew up with the Chicago Bulls dominating, and then the Lakers dominated, and then the Spurs dominated.
Yep.
Then the Miami Heat kind of dominated for a little bit with James, and then it went to the Golden State Warriors. So I guess you're right. I've been used to seeing one team just like dominate, and it's been different. Yeah, the last 8 years.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like I said, our last time was the kind of the Warriors and Cavs just kind of going at it back and forth, like always returning. And now, it's just every year teams, they learn so fast. They pick up players really quick. And like I said, in terms of the influx of the pool of players to choose from, another way you can check it out is like when you play NBA 2K. Like I play a lot of 2K, and if you do like the create your own franchise mode and you're drafting like in the the 60s or the 70s and 80s, by the time you get to like the 10th man spot, you're picking like guys who are ranked like 66 and 65s. But when
Yeah.
you're, in the modern NBA, you still have like 74s and 71s at the number 10 and number 11 spot. So it's just, more talent too, I think now.
Okay.
So that means we both have the
Agree.
reigning champs as our number one, right? More, is that just kind of a respect thing, or do you think they're still very, very good?
Yeah, it's hard not to put them number one after what they did last year. It was just
Yeah.
it looked so good. I thought in the playoffs, and they got the reigning MVP Alexander, who I think averaged like 30 points a game or something like that. Uh, he's been just really great the last couple of years. Yeah, I guess it's respect because I guess when you win a championship, it's hard not to put you number one the next year.
Yeah.
For me, and and they're really really good. If you want me to go on about them,
Yeah, you keep rambling. Like I said, for me, I don't know if it is a respect thing, but also like said to them coming in, I love defense. That's one thing that I praise a lot is defense for teams, and they were such a good defensive team last year, bro. Like they just clear cut know how to rotate. They are fast, and the fact that they got guys like Hartenstein and Chet who can just, like you said, rotate onto guards and just pick them up at the perimeter or the 3-point line. It helps out a lot, and I think the fact that Chet's going to be fully healthy too this year, that's going to help them out too.
yeah, I mean, looking at the team, like Alexander's really the superstar. It's really a team of just really, really. I don't know. I don't know if role player is the right word, but just guys. Like I said, they're not like first team, second team, third team all NBA guys necessarily, except for Williams. I think Williams might have made like a third team or something like that. He was really good, but
Yeah,
I feel
J
like
Dub was great. Yeah, J Dub was really good.
Jalen, yeah. Um, but like the team, like the players, like I don't know if they're superstars, but yet they just play so well together. It's just one of those teams that really, and I love teamwork. I love teams that play together. I more than a team that just has like a superstar that just shoots it all the time. It is fun to see a team that just really, because it's a team game. So you love seeing teams that,
Yeah,
like I love the Golden State Warriors back in the day because how well they passed the ball. San Antonio Spurs was that way back in the day. I think. Um, you know, I love the Phoenix Suns back in the day. I love teams that pass the ball well, and even the Boston Celtics are pretty good at that as well, I think. Anyways, so to me, yeah, I love the way they just play together, I guess, because, Holmgren, I think it was really good. I wasn't sure about him because he's so darn skinny, but well, like from what I've seen, he's playing good. I like Dort. I think Dort's a really good player. Um, Caruso, I like him. He's none of those guys are like this weird looking white guy. You're like, he doesn't look that great, but he's a really good defensive. He's like one of the top defensive guys.
yeah,
They got Wiggins. It's pretty good. I thought Wiggins played really good last year. So yeah, they're just all solid players, and they look so good together. It's like they got the right players and the right coaching staff. It just I don't know, one of those things where it just melts together perfectly, I guess.
yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm clear cut. Like I said, if I was a betting man, yeah, picking them because they just have so many returning pieces. Like you said, they're very consistent. My only main negative with them is like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is such a great scorer, but my main negative is that scoring around him, like as a whole, that if they're not playing full on defensive caliber and they're not stopping the other team, that the other team can put up enough points on them, which is where I think the Denver Nuggets kind of really improved, and I think that's why they went for Cam Johnson and Valanciunas, so we could have more of depth chart, but also have more scoring than the Thunder. So when we get matched up, because we did take them to 7, so it was very close that last year. It could have been, the Nuggets going to that finals and everything. So it was definitely one of those moments where it was like they were right there, and I think Denver made some really good moves. But like I said, out of the respect, the champs having the returning MVP on your team, you kind of got to give them that nod and that respect and show them that love. So it's going to be a good season, though, man. I'm excited because, I think a lot of teams are hungry. And I think even the Thunder, even though they just won, I think they're still hungry, too, to kind of prove that they're not a one and done type team. So,
Yeah, I agree. It's could be like I said, it's a different team every year, so it could be any. There's a number of teams. It could be their year. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, Cleveland. Maybe they'll put it together. Maybe Indiana. I don't know. So there's all these teams that are in there. You're right. There's not a dominating team. In other words, I guess there's not one team that you're like, oh, it's going to be this. It's not. It's going to be the Lakers again, or it's going to be the Chicago Bulls
Yeah.
again. It's not one of those years where it's going to be the Golden State Warriors because no one can stop them. It's not like that. Which makes
Yeah, I
it,
don't think there's any. Yeah, like I said, there's no like super teams. Like, yeah, the Warriors was kind of like a super team. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, not really. Is there not really a super team?
No, yeah, I don't think so. I think a lot of teams now they have a lot of balance. The Denver Nuggets are the only ones I think in the top five that don't have two all stars on their team. Oh no, for me, the Timberwolves is another team. So I have two teams in the top five that don't have like multiple all stars on their team, but I still think Jokic. Like I said, for me being a Nuggets fan, I feel like this is one of the clear cut best rosters he's ever had around him. So that's why I have high hopes for this year. I'm predicting probably like a 55, 56 win season kind of thing, depending on how much they want to use them. Because again, Jokic is very durable, but he is getting older and stuff, and you do want to kind of limit that time, and that's why I think they picked up Valanciunas too. That way we can have Jokic resting a little bit and have him more ready for that postseason. But great top tens and everything. Thank you, Jason, so much. Do you want to now go over some of our really too early predictions for the award winners of the season for Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP? Who are your picks?
Which one do you want first?
Either one, go for it. Anyone?
Well, the only one I'm really confident on is Rookie of the Year for Cooper Flag. He's
Okay.
definitely because I watched him last year at Duke, and he was definitely like one of the top guys in college. And of course, I watched like the McDonald's All American games. So I watched them, in high
Hmm.
school, kind of get a good taste of like who the top guys coming to college are, and who's the most hyped guys. And Cooper Flag is one of the most hyped guys I've seen lately, where they were really on him when he came to college. Of course, as the top guy, they knew when he came into college, like this is the top freshman, coming in. He's going to be first. They knew that he was going to be like a first pick in the draft. They're like, you just know he's one of those guys and he was. I think he was the first pick for the Dallas Mavericks,
Yeah.
and he's just a guy that he's pretty tall. He shoots the ball well, and he's pretty athletic. I think more athletic than you would even think, and pretty good defensive player. I feel like at Duke he played pretty good defense, and he was just a guy that could do just about everything. He was kind of an all around guy that just does everything, and so it's interesting. Dallas Mavericks is, I think, an interesting team because you get rid of Luka Doncic, which has been your star for a while
Hmm.
and one of the best players in the NBA. So now they got Cooper Flag, so it's kind of curious how he's going to work with the team because I feel like without Doncic there, I mean Flag will have the ball in his hands maybe quite a bit. I'm
Yep.
I'm guessing they're going to use him quite a bit. He's still young. I mean he's a rookie, so I'm not going to say he's like an all-star caliber guy, but you know I'd be interested to see how fast he you know
Kind of acclimates to like the NBA, which I think he is very NBA ready. When you watch him, like I said, he has the fundamentals and just the way you see him play, he looks like he's already tailor made to be in the NBA.
well I mean you do have Irving on there. Irving does like the ball in his hands too, but
Yeah, Kyrie. Yeah, Kyrie's there.
you got Irving, you got Davis down low. If he's healthy, I mean, he can be really good. You got Klay Thompson. He's not as good as he used to be, but I mean, the guy can shoot the ball. So you got some nice pieces there in Dallas. And Cooper Flag, if he can rise up to the ability, I think he can. Dallas could be a good team, I think. And so, yeah, I mean, to me, Cooper Flag's definitely I don't know who would be second right now.
Yeah.
Flag to win.
Yeah, clear cut. Like for me, it is Cooper too, just because I think in terms of players coming, especially like I said, white players, which it's very rare. It is just very rare that we have full on white American players coming out of the draft and being drafted number one, and seeing Cooper Flag go to Dallas, and it's just seeing they kind of lucked out. Like I said, they lost Luca and they got the draft lottery, and then they ended up getting the first pick, so they lucked out there. And maybe it's just that's the sign. And I feel like Cooper, I think he's gonna be Rookie of the Year. Like I said, it'd have to be he either severely doesn't work with them, or he gets hurt, which knock on wood, we're not saying we want that to happen, but like I said, it has to be something severe. I think that would stop him from being rookie of the year unless someone else came out, like I said, and completely surprised us, which I don't think is going to happen.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that would be kind
Yeah.
of
What
like,
about your defensive player of the year? Who are you thinking?
yeah. This is it's always hard defense player of the year. I think, like I said, Evan Mobley won it last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's honestly, I didn't want to go for an easy pick, but I went with Wembanyama because I just think he is so good. And I think he made like one of the defensive teams this rookie year. I think he made like, I don't know if he made first or second. Maybe
I think he was second defensive team. Yeah, his first year. Yeah.
pretty good. Your first year, you're on second defensive. I don't know, but he's just so crazy long and can move so well. So he might not win this year, but I feel like one of these years he's going to win it. Like I don't know how to. I think he's got such unique ability there. I mean, how do you shoot over that guy? I don't. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
What?
that's what I mean. Like I think the only person that is able to do that is probably Jokic, just because of how tall he is, and he always shoots, sometimes falling away. But then again, Victor's got that wingspan. He is pretty dirty with that wingspan. When I play in 2K, there's a lot of times where I think, oh man, the shot's going up, and Wimby just comes out and he's like, ah.
I mean, can you imagine playing against someone that's tall? I mean, what is he, seven? I forget what he is. What is he? 7'3", 7'4"? I
I
can't.
think he's 7'3". Yeah, I think he's listed at 7'3".
7'3". Like the tallest guy I'd tell you, like tallest guy I ever played against was like 6'8", and I thought that guy was the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life. And 6'8" is just like a normal in the NBA. But I don't know if you've ever played basketball against any tall people, but
Yeah, I played in middle school. Most of the formation of like team ball I played was in middle school and stuff, and then a little bit in high school. But yeah, like I was always great at defense. I wasn't the best offensive player, but I loved defense. That was my thing. So I was kind of more like a Marcus Smart type character, like a Lance Stevenson type character.
yeah. So I know that I would never get a shot off from Wembanyama. It would be impossible. He wouldn't jump. He wouldn't even have to jump.
Yeah, he'd just be like,
You just catch it.
just palm it down. That'd be great. That's one block. Yeah, one time that happens once in a while, but yeah, to see him just like pick a ball out of the air and just pick it down.
Oh my gosh. Like he could touch the rim probably without even jumping, I bet.
Yeah, he probably just has to go tippy toes and just go.
Insane. But yeah.
But great pick, great pick. I totally trust that and would see that one happening for me.
What's
Defensive player of the year, I'm going to go Giannis, just because I think Giannis, he has won before. He has a DPOY, but I think he's going to have a little bit more to want to prove this year. And I don't think Milwaukee's going to be the best offensive team, where I think they're going to kind of hinder their team on defense. And I feel like Giannis is going to be a big part of that reason. And he's such a good big man, because he's bulky, he's long, he's tall, but he is very quick with his feet. He's one of those dudes that knows how to switch on the perimeter. So I feel like Giannis for a DPOY, which I think will be his second one. If he wins this time, it would be his second one, I think. So I'm trusting that pick right there for defensive player of the year.
That's good. Yeah, he's a great player.
Oh yeah. What about your season MVP? Do you have a pick?
This I might be totally off on this, but I went with Luka Doncic because I feel like he's got to win a year. This guy numbers every year. Every year I think this is Doncic's year to win the MVP, and then Jokic will win his third one. I'm like, can you give this guy one? Jokic has 3 of them. Or he had 2 of them, and then he got a third one. I'm like, give Doncic one MVP. Anyways, so I might be just biased because I just really like Doncic, but he's the best player that hasn't won an MVP out there. And so I'm thinking, at least Kobe Bryant got 1 MVP. Durant got 1 MVP.
Yep, you're like Doncic needs one. He's an upper echelon player for sure.
And the best players I've ever seen play, and they only got 1 apiece. Shaquille O'Neal only has 1 MVP. I mean, there's just so many great players that it's so hard to get multiple MVPs. And Jokic. Here he has 3. So I'm like, surely he's not going to get another one. He's obviously going to be in the MVP race. He's going to always be in the MVP race. And Giannis has 2. So I was like, he doesn't need another one. He's already got 2. Alexander could get another one. He could get back-to-back. That's very possible. He has 1.
Yeah.
He has another good year, and OKC does well. I can see him getting the back-to-back. But again, that's kind of, I don't know. I felt like that's kind of hard to do. It's possible. So I'm totally off here, but I like Doncic has to win 1 year. So
I like your pick.
I'm gonna pick him until he wins. I think it's gonna.
You're just putting it out in the ether. It's like I'm just gonna keep putting it out there in the ethos and the ether, and making sure that it gets out there.
Exactly, because it's been Jokic, Antetokounmpo, Alexander, and Embiid have been like your top guys every year, and it's been hard for anybody else. Maybe Doncic. Doncic's probably been in the conversation, but after that, there hasn't been anybody else really getting in there. It's been the same guys every year. That's in the top like 5 or so. Because LeBron James he's on his way out. Curry, Durant, they're no longer MVP guys. And then he said Edwards and Mitchell. It seems like they're close. I don't know.
Yeah, they're on the cusp.
They're on the cusp, but I don't know. There's. I mean, I say all that to say there's multiple guys that could win it. So
yeah,
I have no confidence in my choice, but that's my choice.
Yeah, that's why we want to let the people out there know. Yeah, these are just our way too early predictions. Just taking guesses out there and putting it out there. For me, like I said, I trust your pick. That is an amazing pick. For me, I'm gonna go Nikola Jokic. I mean, I am a Jokic glazer. I love that man. He's my favorite Nugget of all time. But I think just like clear cut when I'm looking at the NBA, I still think right now I believe he's the best player in the world. I feel like Victor Wembanyama is going to be that, but he's not that yet. Like I said, I think right now, currently, my money is on Nikola Jokic still being the best player in the world with his basketball IQ and the fact that he has such a talented team around him this year. The assist numbers are just going to be off the charts this year, I think. And he's always such a great rebounder. His points might not be as high, like he might not be averaging 27 or 28 a game, but I feel like, and this is going to be the year I think he breaks Oscar Robinson's record for triple doubles. I think he's going to break it, and Russ, like I think he's going to pass both of them because I think Jokic is just going to keep stacking those triple double numbers. So it's going to be an exciting time to be a Nuggets fan this year.
Hopefully for you, yeah, it'll be good.
But thank you so much, Jason, for coming on. I hope you enjoyed this one. And like all the people out there too, anybody who watches the stream after, please like, share, and drop your comments for your top teams or some of your favorite teams and picks and all that stuff for Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and MVP and stuff. And thank you so much, Jason, for coming on, because this is I've done sports content before, but the first time I've ever done a long form sports show. So thank you again and before we go too, is there anything you want to shout out on your channel that's going to be coming out over the next week?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't been doing as much lately because I got my new job and I'm just I'm mornings and I'm tired in the evenings. I've been going through the Alien Predator series. That's been like my main thing. I've been
nice
watching all the Alien movies and Predator movies and reviewing those, getting ready for Predator Badlands, I think coming out in November.
Sweet.
And when that comes out, I can then like rank them all. Is my what I want to do. So I got Alien versus Predator as the next review I got for that series. I need to do. I was trying to think what I was doing my top 10 favorite actresses. I did 10 through 6. I need to do my 5 through 1. So that's
nice.
probably coming up as well. So
Sweet. Awesome content. Like I said, I'll have links for Jason, the Old Millennials channel in the description, so you guys can click on that link and go follow him over there and see any kind of awesome content he is popping out. For me, it's spooky season. I'm kind of in that backwoods horror thing, so I'm still kind of diving into that stuff, but I'm going to be having other rankings and of course other videos coming out and shorts as well during the spooky month of October. But again, thank you all for sticking around with us for this live stream. Please like, share, sub. We greatly appreciate it. But most importantly, we all want you to have an awesome Friday and be safe out there. Laters.